Owen.
I don't remember. It's been an age and a half.
I know Theo and his dad fought.
That was weeks ago, motherfucker.
It was pretty intense.
I remember Lucian thinking it was more dramatic than it was when he came back to.
It was pretty dramatic. I rewatched it. It was pretty dramatic. I know. Owen woke up and was like talking, and then I don't exactly remember what everyone else was doing because everyone else wasn't doing a ton in this group, at least.
Call it out! Anyway.
No, it was mostly just like the big thing was the fight with the dad.
Yeah, it's all good. You can go ahead and just recap from your point of view and then move on to someone else.
Yeah, well, and that's pretty much all I really remember. I know you did talk to the Star Deacon guy, and then they were like, "Oh."
Yeah. Practically what Lucian went through was just more try to get it into the hands that probably should deal with this more than they should, and then realizing that little bit of a pushback, he just was a little beside himself. And then came back over to check on Owen and Theo.
Let's remember that it was an understandable pushback, as what you were trying to say was super taboo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was definitely not like unwarranted, but
it's one of those things where he's looking at two things. He really wanted to be a part of Lovoxith and everything. Like with Theo, he was like, yeah, I want to be beside you in this, but it's also so dangerous that it was like a toss-up between both hands, and he's like, I don't know if I can pick right now. Like, I don't know who to give that hand to. So the pushback was more, I need to go back and think about this myself instead of immediately giving it the hands I think could do it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else?
What were we talking about? I'm sorry, I was AFK.
Recapping.
Fire in the streets. Went to orphanage. Stayed there. Yeah.
Without me?
Maybe. I don't know.
We were all in a building together, and Lucian already explained what happened between them, and Spooner just kind of hung out with Takiri and tried to comfort Theo, saying that we can rebuild the Grim. That it was nothing to be sad about.
Sorry, that's just not what Theo was sad about, obviously.
Yeah, I remember how they walked in that scene. That was pretty funny.
You gotta know that Spooner doesn't have he didn't really have a family, so dealing with family issues is way beyond his comprehension. I mean, he plays dad well with the orphanage kids, but he doesn't handle emotional stuff all that well because he's not really familiar with it. So,
well, yeah. I just thought it was funny.
So he's gonna try to lift the mood and try to move in a different direction. Spooner in a nutshell.
Owen, do you remember anything?
I remember I woke up from speaking with the gods, and I said some shit, and then people ran off, and I needed to talk to my dad.
Well, okay. You told at least some of your party some important information. Do you remember what it was?
Well, yeah, that Shrek was responsible for all of this, and that we need to go to the the mountains to help Grim, the god, get his eyesight back.
Yeah, we need to go to the mines.
Yep.
The mines.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, and yeah, I don't really have a person to pick up with, so I guess we'll just start with Lucian and Theo. So
And action.
yeah, you guys have just left. You can see your father Theo sitting with his back up against the church, hands in his face, and tears just pouring through the cracks in his fingers. Grim said, "Say his name 3 times and he will appear."
Yeah, Theo's also just crying hysterically.
Oh my. Okay, so Lucian's caught in the middle of things. I'm just gonna pat Theo's shoulder, be there for him. Looking over at it. All right, it's okay. Just cry it out. Don't try to speak. It's fine. And he's gonna look over and see Theo's father in the same distress. Theo, when you get a chance to pull yourself together here, maybe it would be best for you and your father to actually talk things out of what you want to do. Okay?
I don't know.
It's okay. You can take your time. I got things to do at home as well. Especially if whatever you decide to do, Theo. I'm gonna be beside you in it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna stay there as long as you need me.
Yeah, after a few moments, Theo kind of sobers up a little bit and just kind of like gathers himself and he's like, okay.
Okay.
Try this again.
Alright.
Try this again, right?
I'll be over here. I'll keep my distance. So, but if you need me, I'm over here.
Okay. Great. So, I'm gonna walk back over to my dad.
And he sees you. You see him lift his head up, and he sees you approaching. He puts a hand up and just shakes his head, and you can tell that he just needs some time, but he can't even speak to you right now.
Not mad, he's just disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. He's not mad. He's just disappointed.
I'll come back, but I'm gonna walk with Lucian back to his family for now, and then we'll come back. Okay, we can talk. Maybe.
And he looks at you with red eyes and doesn't really shake his head no or yes. He just kind of just stares at you as if his soul has left his body. And then he puts his hands back down in his hands.
All right. I'm gonna walk back over to Lucian. So it's looking like we're gonna come back. Okay.
My palms kind of come out to the side, like, so, like, what happened?
It looks like we're gonna have to come back.
Oh.
He's not.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe the space will be good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe both you being distressed would be like this father and sonly embrace to make things okay, but what do I know?
Dad doesn't work like that.
Yeah, he's just looking blankly into the distance, 1,000-yard stare, thinking about that. He's like, okay, all right, well, if you need a place for now, just to give you a little space between you and your dad for now, you could come over to my place. So I'll walk you there.
Okay. That'd be great. Thanks.
I pat his back.
We just kind of shuffle off.
Okay. You can pick up your feet a little bit, Theo. It sounds weird on the cobblestone.
So what I meant by that.
So you guys,
I think there's still someone fell off a roof somewhere.
so you guys are leaving?
Yeah.
Gonna start at least heading towards my house, yeah.
Okay. All right. Owen.
I am going to talk to my dad for a second. He was there, and I'm going to explain to him what happened to me. Say, when I passed out, the gods called me, and they told me that Shrek was all responsible for this. And I'm going to be really quiet about it because I saw what happened over there with Theo and shit. I need to know, do you have faith in me that I'm telling you the truth?
And your dad looks at you with very concerned eyes, and he puts his arm on your shoulder and he says, "Of course, Owen, I believe anything that you would say. You have been given an amazing gift, and it is not for me to decide, if your words are true or not. I believe in you. It's all I've ever done. I'm a much better father than Theo's."
I say thank you, Father, and I give him a hug, and I'm like, I need something from you. Actually, I need a couple things from you.
Anything, son. What can I help you with? And he's whispering because he knows how important this is. I mean, this is probably not the first time you two have talked about things that are taboo.
I'm gonna need some armor and a hammer because I have to go and restore Grim to his rightful place.
And he just looks at you shocked. He's like, "First him, and now you're tasked with restoring the Grim?"
That is correct.
If anything, you should ask your mother for help.
Well, I mean, I will, but she can't make me armor.
No, but she could at least point you in a very magical direction.
Okay. I'll talk to Mom.
She is friends with Mr. Fulzine. If anybody could find you items to aid you on this path, it would definitely be your mother. And again, I will at least be able to find you basic armaments, but nothing is I do not share the same resources as your mother.
I understand. Anything that you could do to help would be greatly appreciated.
Anything. Make me a list, son. You see him scrambling for parchments of paper, and you see him pick up one of the laws pamphlets that didn't explode, and he quickly is looking at it, and then he realizes what he has, and he pulls it away, and then realizes it's not going to explode, and then flips it over and tries to find something to write with, but then he hands it to you.
All right. So I'll write that down and get that to him. But now I feel like I need to fix something. I said I'll be back in just a few minutes. And I'm going to walk over to Theo's dad.
Okay. You will walk outside, or you will see that was outside, and you see Theo's dad looking inconsolable. Just a shell of a man broken by his most favorite son.
Holy shit, fam.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't remove his hand. Yeah, there. Go ahead. Sorry.
Gloom Reaper. I walk up and I say, quietly, "Excuse me, Mr. Gloom Reaper."
And you hear a shrill, strained voice go, "Yes." And he looks up. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Goodhope." And you see him trying to rub his tears away from his face. "How can I help you, sir?" Oh, look at me. Look at me. And he stands up and he brushes himself off. "I'm so sorry about my appearance."
"I'd like to talk to you about your son, Theo."
And you see the tears start to well up in his eyes as he tries to choke him back. "Now would not be the best time to talk to me about my son."
I understand that you're disappointed, and that I am responsible for some of this.
You are not responsible for the words that escape my son's mouth.
Well, I am responsible, and I want to roll a diplomacy check.
Okay. He's looking at you confused. You got him. Go for it.
I don't think that Theo would have made such proclamations if he hadn't believed in me. So I want you to understand that I believe in Theo, and I believe that Theo can assist me and help me in doing what's right to save this city so that nothing like this will ever happen again. I need you to believe in your son. Can you do that for me?
You see his eyes almost turn red as he's listening to your words and then begins to piece together that you're the one that told him about Shrek. And then as you start talking about believing in Theo and asking him to believe in Theo, the redness starts to fade away, but his voice stays stern. You are the one that set my son on this fool's task?
Out of character, he told his dad that he was listening to me, right?
I did, absolutely.
Okay, so I don't know why this is a shock.
Well, his dad's consult. I'm sorry that I don't remember.
No, I'm just saying.
Maybe when we asked for the
specifically
recap.
the reason why this happened.
Well, yeah, but I don't remember her. I don't remember him saying to the dad that it was you.
Oh yeah,
I totally did.
That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we asked for the recap. That's fine. And he says, well, then he says, of course it was you. Who else would it have been? Theo told me it was you. And you see him slap some sense into himself.
and I just need you to know that Theo is a beacon of hope to bring peace back to this land and to restore things and make them better than they were before.
I do not know you to be a liar, and I do not know you to be a man of dishonor. I should have more faith in my son, and it's just hard when you hear fanatical tales such as these. But I will do my best to support him in the ways that I can. But to be associated with that, if word ever got out that I was associated with this, of course I'd stand with my son, but I just need time to accept what's going on, Mr. Goodhope.
I understand. I just want you to not blame your son for him believing in me.
Oh no, Mr. Goodhope. I will blame you if anything should happen to my son. And I will make sure
As you have
that
the right
town knows that you are the one that spread these ideas in his head. But, as I said, you are a man of reputation. I would never want to besmirch you like that. But if something should happen to my son, I will run your name through the mud.
I would have it no other way.
If you see Theo, tell him he's welcome to come home.
Thank you. And I nod to him and reach out to shake his hand.
He looks at it, and you can see he's just so very angry at you, but he knows that your words are coming from an honest and good place, so he shakes your hand, kind of begrudgingly, but and then right before he lets go, he gives that like fatherly, stern handshake, and he says, if anything Good Hope happens to Theo, anything, I'm coming for you.
I just nod and turn around and walk away.
Okay. Spooner.
Spooner's gonna seek out Theo's dad.
Everyone
You will see Owen walking away from him, and he looks at the wall that he had been sitting at, and you can see that he's consoled himself a little bit. He stands a little taller, and you can see him looking through the crowd, trying to find a glimpse of Theo. Or you assume he's looking through the crowd, trying to find somebody. But go ahead.
A rough day, eh?
Yes, Mr. Strongneck, right? Yeah. Have you not partaken in the devastation of this night? That is amazing that you were unarmed or unhurt.
Well, it wasn't too bad. But I just saw you a little distraught, and I just wanted to tell you that the Grim will be rebuilt, so there's no reason to cry.
He looks at you with the most appalled face a person could ever have. Not that bad! Who knows how many have perished, innocents slaughtered, the Grim destroyed, and you can just see he's taking all of this rage out on you. To say it's not that bad?
You're alive, are you not? Is your son not alive?
And how about those who've perished? How about the town that's destroyed, the family's broken? Not that bad, though.
The fucking thing fell out of the fridge. Shit.
I know, right? That's fucking terrible, isn't it?
I appreciate that. Be careful. Grab the lid from the upside down, because that lid is not on tight.
Oh, we're in Stranger Things.
Yeah, we are.
I'm sorry.
Careful of the demigorgons.
Yeah.
Just stick it in there wherever it'll be.
You're pushing things forward, Death. I appreciate you.
No, I'm sorry. I forgot my mic was on, but I dropped shit. My bad. Please continue.
You feel a cold draft come from Theo's dad as if a fridge had something that fall. I screwed up. Damn it. Now go ahead.
No, I do mourn the loss of the people that did not make this tragic event, but I also like to be on the positive side, because it is a lot more enjoyable than being sad all the time.
He looks at you and says, if this is sorrow, then this is a disgusting display. And I cannot even stomach myself to speak so lightly about such a horrible travesty. He just walks away.
Try living without your parents. That isn't fun either. But I kept a good head.
Theo's dad doesn't have parents.
You're a hermaphrodite?
No. So he walks off. And people are staring at you, Spooner, hearing that, he told everybody within earshot that you don't think this is that bad. And some people are just looking at you, shaking their head very disappointedly.
It's okay. I'm used to being shaken head at. I'm not overly popular, but I am useful. But that's okay. We'll rebuild the mountain.
And you hear people say behind your back, to be poor in money is one thing, but to be poor in manners is another. Can you believe him? The words he says.
Yes. Then gossip behind people's backs even lower. Do have good day.
What's up?
Low current shit.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Spooner, he's gonna track those two down.
What are Lokar and Chev doing?
I imagine we're sitting there like we don't know what to do or where to go, and we're just kind of waiting for someone to tell us what to do. Because this is too reminiscent of what we have already suffered through.
And walks in a very gingerly stepping Spooner. Big smile on his face, flipping a quarter up in the air, grabbing it, and whistling a jubilant tune.
Dude, what's a quarter?
It's this metal piece here.
Ah, cool.
Yes. Well, would
So?
you guys like to have some beds to sleep in?
Yes, we would, but I do not want to be trapped in the one area where you can't just leave when you want to leave, under any circumstances.
No, nor do I blame you. But I mean, we can try to find you some lodging for the night.
Yeah, I would like that very much. Lokar, would you like to come find some new lodgings, friend?
He's AFK. And
He's
Lokar looks like he's stuffing, Jesus wafers. I can't think of what those cookies are called. Communion cookies.
Communion
Crackers,
wafers?
yeah, communion wafers down his throat. Where he got them, you're not sure, and why why he's shoving so many down his mouth, you're not sure either. And
Roadie.
some
trying to see how many you can fit at once.
Somehow they're leaving crumbs.
You can't look away. That's an amazing talent there, Lokar.
Hmm?
I need
I'm trying to respond back to you.
Perception rolls from everyone. S'il vous plaît.
You got it, boss. Perception.
The wonderful 3 comes back.
How did I roll a 14? Ah, that was for the ones. Oh, wow. Lucian. No, and oh boy.
I know. I'm too worried about Theo at the moment.
Chev, Theo. Oh,
Yay,
man.
I got a 12.
And then Spooner rolled a 10.
Thank God you can see past your tears.
Who else? Am I missing anybody else? I'm missing
I cannot.
Lokar.
It's Lokar.
Yep, let me go Lokar real quick. Perception. All right.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
Lucian and Theo, you guys were the first to leave. You're walking away. I forget where you live, Lucian.
I live nowhere. I don't live here. No. What are you talking about?
Down by the river?
No, I think I live because I know my gnome parents, they live in woodworking and everything and housekeeping. So they may be near 8. Would that make sense?
The Thumb? Yeah, they could live in the Thumb. So you're going.
So we
north.
also live in the Thumb together.
There you go.
No wonder why we're friends as close as we are.
Walking through the streets, you guys notice that the guards pretty much have the city under control. Before you were leaving, and everybody would have heard this, before you guys had left the church, you would have seen that the guards would have taken more to rescue and search missions now that the town has quieted down since the explosion of the Grim. I mean, there's still some houses on fire and, wounded being carried to churches nearby. But the streets, at least there's a guard within sight line of the major roads. There's still not nearly enough guards to do what they're trying to do, but they're trying to keep the city on somewhat under wraps. And as you guys make your way towards the Thumb, you will start to see... Where's the notes? You guys start to see lights in the north side of the streets, and with your roll, Theo, you would smell a sweet aroma start to permeate through the alleyways coming from the direction of the lights. And these aren't torch lights, these are bright white lights. They look like they're probably on some type of staff, but they're probably like 6.
I'm gonna take a couple of deep breaths through my nose and go, "Do you smell that?"
No. What? I'm sorry. We haven't talked for a good solid 15 minutes walking this way. What are you talking about?
It smells kind of funky over here. I don't know what's going on, but
I don't know. I go nose blind in the thumb.
Fair enough.
Everything smells like something. Sometimes they're like, "Is that a cow?" And I'm like, "No." No other comparison. That's it. That's all he says. He's just keeping it very simple.
I don't know why.
He pats Thea's back as he goes into hysteria. All right, we're almost there.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like look around suspiciously. It's like there's something off, but I don't know. There's nothing worth like necessarily trying to investigate necessarily. It doesn't smell like smoke, so I mean, there's probably not a fire. Yeah, that's the only thing I would really worry about in the thumb, probably.
Well, you guys aren't in the thumb. You're still in the city, walking
we're
towards
still in
the
the
thumb.
city?
Yeah.
Oh, we're still in the city. Okay. Well,
You're walking towards the thumb.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
about, a quarter of the way there, and that's when you
Right,
see these
right.
lights approaching you from the north.
Lights approaching us from the north. Oh. Oh, and then also, do you see those lights?
Yeah, he can
I
s-
look up.
yes.
I look up from my feet.
Yes, you can see the lights.
Yeah, I see them. What about it?
Do we know what those are, or I would assume we don't, right?
This is where the laws would come in handy.
Yeah, are you asking me or are you asking Lucian?
I'm asking you, I guess, more so.
How old are you both?
I'm 19.
I think I'm like 25, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
So if you're 25,
I thought you were younger than me.
then you
I'm not like that young, but I'm not like that old.
You would recognize this aroma as one of that would usually precedes the recalibrators.
Oh, so they're okay.
There's...
It looks like the recalibrators are over here, I guess.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to bring some new peace here from after what happened.
They fix things.
Yeah, well, peace. Yeah, because they're making everything whole again.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
You guys avoiding them or walking towards them?
I think I'd try to let them walk past, at least Lucian would.
And Theo?
Well, I'm gonna walk with Lucian, so.
Okay. All right. So, with the other group, Spooner's 10, Chev 15, Lokar 13, and Owen. That was Owen with the 2. So, Owen, we will start with you. You said you were getting ready to leave the church and go on a mission?
Yeah, I was gonna go talk to my mom.
Okay. You're going to go to the academy?
Yep.
All right. Walking through the streets, the guards will, every guard you pass, make sure you're okay. And they offer their name to you, as if they're going to get rewarded for checking on you. But everybody's treating you very, very fondly, and some walk with you to make sure you get from one side of the street to the other, and maybe talking to you about ideas they have for the guard to see if you could pass them on. And when you finally get to the gates of the academy, you see that there's a couple of makeshift tents set up, and you see Hugo sitting at a desk, furiously writing orders and handing them to guards as they are on horseback preparing to get on horseback to run them. Are you saying anything to him, or are you walking straight into the academy?
I will say, what time of day is it now?
It is probably 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh. Good morning, sir. What's going on?
What's going on? The town is destroyed, and I'm trying to maintain my cool. He's like overly stressed out. Have you heard of anything news of my daughter or son?
The last I saw Scarlet was earlier this evening. She went to your family store, and that was the last I saw of her.
And of my son?
I guess she was at the store with him. I don't know. I didn't see him at all yesterday.
Well, how fortunate for you to be unscathed in these events. I'm sure your parents will be thrilled.
I have faith that your daughter is a very resourceful young woman, and your son is competent as well. So, I believe that they can take care of each other if they're together.
I've never been worried about Scarlet being able to defend herself. I'm just happy to know that the Good Hopes are in good standing this evening. Give your best to my mother, or to your mother.
Thank you, and I hope the best for you and your family as well.
Thank you, sir. If you need an escort home, please let me know.
I'm sure Mom's just in here, so I was going to go look for her.
If that's the
But thank
case,
you.
I have not seen her leave or have been seen any orders of her request to vacate. I suggest you stay there for the night.
Understood. Thank you.
Very good. You see him write a script and says, hand this to the guards manning the gate.
Thank you.
And it's just a request to entry.
Okay.
And
I walk up to the guards and hand them the...
and they say, good evening, Mr. Goodhope. It's good to see you well. Unshaken, unscathed, unhurt?
For the most part, yes. Thank you. I'm glad to see that you're that you're doing good as well.
Couldn't be in better spirits, seeing you alive and well.
We need to keep the town spirits up at this time.
Of course, sir, of course. That's the first thing we will do.
Is my mother still here?
Of course, yes.
I need to go speak with her.
I've
Thank you
I've kept
concern.
a good watch, making sure that no harm befell her or those at the academy.
Thank you. I appreciate your concern.
Yes, I'm very concerned.
Put in a good word for you.
No need for a word, my lord. Just know that I've kept a diligent watch, and no one has gone through these gates without proper procedures being followed.
No, it's not important.
I just nod at him and reach out to shake his hand.
Oh, I wouldn't be so bold to shake the hand of a Good Hope.
I'm just a person.
Maybe if you feel so gracious, he takes off his helmet. Would you give my helmet your mark?
Of course.
And the guard next to him is just rolling his eyes, not saying anything. What type of mark do you put on this guy's helmet?
I'm going to put like a star on there.
Grim says as 5 people walk by and he's not watching. All right, you put a star on there, and he looks at it, and he points it to the guard next to him, and goes, and then while the guard is giving him this blank face and just shaking his head no, the guard you're talking to blushes and immediately puts the helmet on and says, "You may proceed, sir. Good evening to you."
And I just walk on in.
And then you hear from the back, he's like, "I also got his autograph weeks ago, but he doesn't remember me. Do you think he'll remember me now?"
Love that.
Oh my god.
All right.
So funny.
There are, with this being protected as it is, there are no guards here. There was no attacks, no bombing going on in the academy. It just seems like a pretty quiet part of town. You can see some lights on in the homes. There's no no unpermitted citizens in here, so which is standard. I mean, it looks like the night has not even broached the walls of this place. So you're able to walk right to the academy where your mom would be. And we're going to cut over to Chev, Spooner, and Lokar. So Spooner and where's Chev got a 15, Spooner got a 10, Lokar got a 13. So Spooner, you will notice because you're outside, listening to the people badmouth you for your lack of enthusiasm or lack of care for the events of the town, that a very heavy mist is starting to creep out from behind the church, from the cemetery. And Lokar and... Are you here, Lokar?
Yes.
Okay, Lokar and Shiv. Good, I gave you enough time. You guys will notice that a priestess runs up to a well-dressed, well, you would know, I guess, probably maybe somebody pointed out to you right now that it was Brother Tylus who runs this church. You can see her very eagerly, like, tugging on his shirt, and when he turns around, you hear the words, where's my notes? You hear the words strangers and coffers and sacred relics below. And then the father, like, quickly grabs her to calm her down, and you can see him slowly talking to her, and she's listening, nodding every time the father says something, and you hear him say to get help from the guards. And the priestess runs past both of you outside trying to find some guards. But that's what you two are seeing. And Spooner, you see this, and it's a faint mist. It's not, you're able to, it doesn't seem like the people near the church are noticing it, but you see a very odd forming mist happening from behind the church.
That's not normal.
What's not?
That mist.
And I'll go down here with them to observe.
Okay. And Chef?
I will go with Lokar.
All right. So you guys walk towards the back of the church, and as you get closer, you see the mist gets more and more obscuring. You can't really see anything in it. Before you walk towards the back of the church, you could probably see some gravestones, but as you get closer, it just becomes so much more obscured, and it looks like it's in a 20-foot radius. But you guys do hear the sounds of teeth gnawing on bone and cracking inside the mist.
That's not good. We shouldn't go in there. We should go see the priest.
We should. I don't know if that building's completely safe, though. Like,
that's what I'm meaning, is I don't want somebody in there getting munched on while I just casually walked by.
No, you're right. Yeah, let's go.
All right.
I pull my wooden sword out.
Are you sure you want to follow me? I don't want to put you guys in danger unnecessarily.
Look, Mr. Spooner, you've been nothing but accommodating to us since we've arrived here, and it wouldn't seem right to just leave you to it. We've depended on you this entire time. Lean on us a little. We're not totally incompetent. We were just overwhelmed when we first got here.
No. What you guys have been through, I wouldn't consider incompetence as something I would use. All right. So Spooner will do like a somersault roll inside to the church, just to make sure no one shoots him with arrows or something.
You're running inside the church?
Yeah, isn't that where the priest went?
The priestess went outside to find a guard. You are outside.
Well, I was meaning like the father guy that she's talked to.
He was inside the church.
Okay, so we're going inside the church where he was at.
So you're not going towards the mist.
Uh,
That's where I'm getting confused.
We went to look at the mist, then we heard the noises.
Yeah, right. Well, Death pulled out his sword, so I assumed you guys were.
Chev,
I don't care. I'm just making sure I got this right. That's all.
No,
Chev.
actually, I was confused there too.
Chev, do we want to stand outside the door, both of us?
I was
Nothing
thinking the same thing, Lokar. The same thing indeed.
Yes.
If there is some sort of danger in that mist,
We
if
can at
we
least
don't
protect these
lock the
people.
doors, they'll walk right in.
This is from the back of the church. There's no doors.
Oh,
We went
Right,
back
I
to the
mean,
front.
eventually the
Listen,
mist is
there
coming
is there
from the
is a
back.
mist in back of the church where the cemetery is.
Right,
The,
so you
the
said it was
priest,
spreading.
so
yeah,
you're
it's
telling me the
spreading
church doesn't
in
have a
back
fire
of the
exit?
church.
That is
Yeah,
not the-
right. It's spreading. It's permeating out behind the church. The priestess was in the front of the church, running out to
Right,
check with the
that's not
guard.
the part I was talking about. What I was saying was eventually that mist will spread to encompass the church.
No,
right?
no, it's spreading back. It's going
Yeah,
back.
it's going towards expelling out.
You guys could see gravestones, and now you're not. It seems like it's obscuring the graveyard. And then inside the graveyard, well, from the direction of the graveyard, you hear what sounds like bones being gnawed on and snapping.
Perhaps we should go and look into it, friend.
Well,
Leave this to Mr. Spooner.
Leaving which thing to Mr. Spooner? Spooner's going in to talk to the priest.
He's talking
Spooner's
to the
good.
priest. He's talking
Okay.
to the priest.
Okay, all right. I'm just making you guys. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. No. I'm not trying to confuse you.
All right,
He's talking to
it's
the
too
priest.
late. Okay.
and
We can leave that to him because he knows that guy and we don't know him at all.
Okay,
And we can look into this sound. And if it's too much for us to handle, we'll just run away.
that's fine.
well, or we just wait until something emerges from the mist, possibly.
That works as well.
So I started blasting.
All right. So you guys are standing outside the mist, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And Spooner, you're going in to talk to the priest.
Is it Father Tylus, what you
Yeah,
said?
yes, brother, father, whatever you want to call him.
Brother file.
Your brother.
Faja.
So,
Alabama.
Chev and Lokar, people start to notice the mist forming behind the church, and they seem very concerned, and they start moving away from it. But the mist spreads backwards until the entire graveyard is covered. And
This
then
can't be good.
and then you hear what sounds like a man screaming in pain. And then Spooner, you run inside the church where Father Tylus is starting to move people away from the back of the church, usually where his office is located. But he's just telling people that they need to start making room for possible injured that need to come in.
Y'all need to get the hell out of this building.
Faja.
Yes, Mr. Spooner, how can I help you?
There
Please,
is
I need you to move more towards the middle of the church. I will be having to make some room for some people that possibly be injured. We are running a triage here.
Yes. Well, there is something in the mist of the back of the church in the graveyard that is gnawing on bones.
What
Which
mist?
there is a mist coming out of the back of your church into the graveyard.
Okay.
It's a very obscuring mist,
Well,
and you can hear things gnawing on bones back there.
Spooner, it's not.
We need to get your people out of here.
This is the safest place for anybody to be right now, Spooner. As it's why we have all the guards bring everybody here. I can assure you that if anything is gnawing on bones and back, it's probably a rat or something. But
No, it
This
is definitely not a rat. How
at-
about you come out with me and then look, and then you'll see for yourself.
and you can see he keeps looking back towards his office, and he says, "No, I can't really leave. Like I said, I have to prepare for possible injured. But Mr. Spooner, if there's a rat back there, I'm pretty sure I have full confidence in you to handle this situation, especially with such an atmospheric disturbance."
You keep looking at your office. Is there something back there that you're afraid of?
Absolutely not. There's nothing to be worried about. It's my office. It's
Insight check.
We're not
How
there.
about you play your own damn character?
I was actually going to have Spooner see if he could
You can
pick
do
up
that.
on his.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll an insight. Before I go to Lucian and Theo, Chev and Lokar, what are you doing?
We
heard a guy scream, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And people start to
go in
run.
that direction.
People start to
Is it
move
coming
away from the back. It's coming from the mist.
Perception?
Insight. If you're
Could be
trying,
a trap,
insight if you're trying to see if you trust his words. Perception if you're trying to see something else.
Well, let's perception ourselves and see if we can see where the scream is coming from.
Oh, there's no insight in Pathfinder.
well, we know it's coming from the mist.
There isn't insight in Pathfinder?
At least not on my character sheet.
What am I thinking of?
Oh,
D&D.
I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Sense motive. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's a mist. It's obscuring. You can't see into it unless you walk into it.
Facts.
Ooh.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need to roll that. You guys would know of the spell obscuring mist.
Okay.
And sense mode. Oh man.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at Lokar and I'm going to nod towards the mist and I'm gonna slowly start making my way there with my wooden sword in hand.
Oh.
Can't ignore somebody in trouble, Lokar.
No, I know. Okay. Spooner, we're checking it out, and we will start moving towards the mist.
Everybody, that falls on deaf ears as people mention. Whatever. Spooner wouldn't hear it. So you guys start walking into the mist, and you can hear some growling happening, and a man screaming, "Please! Please! No! No!" And when walking in, you are confronted with the mist starts to clear, and you see a big black beast. And you guys would notice almost immediately that it is a Bargeist threatening Theo's dad.
Oh, not my dad.
Barghest, you say?
Barghest, yep. And you can see that his leg is bleeding profusely.
The Barghest or her dad?
Her dad. His dad.
Okay.
Theo's a guy, yeah. Theo's dad.
Fairly sure that would send Chev into a rage.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to Theo and let's go to Theo. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Chef. Or Lokar.
Yeah, Lokar is equally as angry as Chev.
Okay. And let's go to Lucian and Theo. So you guys you guys walk, you guys stand aside as the recalibrators make their way. The smell gets intensified of being a high-class perfume, and you see that they walk very slowly, and they stop very periodically while you guys are sitting here with your thumbs up your A's. Wrong notes.
About the thumbs up the air? Yeah, I thought so.
And then you see that the lights are an armed escort. And you hear the sweet, I didn't describe the singing voice. There's no way I didn't describe the singing voice.
It's all right. I understand. I would almost say almost like
here we go.
Silent psalm choir.
Yeah. No, it's a very uplifting and melodic voice. As you see houses on flame that are on flame or inflamed, quickly snuff out, and doors and windows that have been blown apart start to form together. You see glass and wood framings from the ground start to lift in the air and recombobulate. Even the burnt grass replants itself and rejuvenates. And you notice that there's one woman, and she has 6 guards, and you recognize her as Devanga, who is the most famous singer in all of Lovoxith. She is a half-orc. She is the only baritone singer in Generica, which is the home of the arts, the island of the arts. She is an opera singer. Yeah, she's very attractive, even by orc standards. Her blonde hair, streaked with ocean blue waves, cling to her back to her mid-waist, and she is wearing a green sparkling sequin dress. The colors never dull and seem to emanate its own light. To see her performing her work or her magic is a rare sight indeed, as she never really comes this far north of the city, especially with such a lessened armed escort. And as she sings and from house to house, and you can see that's, her voice is so loud and powerful that she can repair almost a whole block by herself as she moves through the streets. And as they come up to you guys just standing there, the guards stop and two of them run forward to meet with you and say, "Would you please stand aside? Devanga cannot be interrupted."
I believe that's what we were doing. We were standing aside so they could walk through.
You misunderstand my politeness. Leave. These streets must be vacated for her protection.
Okay. Then we'll just go this way. Come on, Theo. And I start heading more west so that we can give them more part.
As soon as you turn around and try to usher Theo, you hear her voice. The singing stops and she says, "There is no need to make them leave." And she walks over and she says, "Child, are you okay this evening? Do you require aid, food, or comforts?"
No, I think we're fine. I'm just taking Theo to my home until his father returns.
I hope your families are safe.
As do I.
Yeah.
Tell me, what are your names? I already forgetting that you just called the one Theo.
Yeah.
Sorry. So unspoken.
Lucian introduces himself. His full name goes, "I am Lucian Beatrice Flora Twigstone Fetcher."
I'm sorry. Could you please say that so a normal person could understand it? And you see like a smile cross her barbed teeth face, like gangly teeth, and her green slime start to form on the side of her lips, which one of the guards pulls out a napkin and immediately dabs it for her.
You could just call me Lucian.
Huh?
I shall call you Lucian then. And your last name?
Laura.
Laura?
Mm-hmm. He nods. Like, just to make it easier.
Lucian, Laura. And you, sir?
My name is Theodore Gloom Reaper Jr.
Gloom Reaper? There you go.
It was accidental.
That's his vigilante name.
Much gloom has been reaped this night, but fear not, for my voice shall fix all harms to this city. And the guard says, "Madam, please, we are on a tight schedule, we do not have time." And she says, "Do not try to rush me from my fans. I have all the time in the world for those who adore me." And she looks back at you two for confirmation.
Yes,
I'll
absolutely.
Nod. Like she is very cool. I've heard a lot about her.
How tall is she in comparison to me?
She is 9 foot tall.
Yeah, so I'm trying my best to
And
step back enough to keep eye contact without being under her bodice.
She typically wears heels to put her around 10, but not tonight.
Spinner just leveled up.
I want to climb that tree.
She snaps her finger, and one of the guards comes over with what looks to be like a very lavish burlap sack, which
I'm expecting that finger snap to sound like a gunshot. Jesus.
You recognize it as a bag of holding, and when the guard walks over, he stands right next to her, and her looking at you smiling, she just reaches in the bag and starts rummaging around. And then she pulls out 2 dolls that look exactly like her in this dress. She says, "Here, For my adoring fans, if you ever wish to hear the songs of Devenga.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
It is an honor.
And you can see on the back of each doll, around the inside the cleavage of the doll, is a ticket to one of her shows.
Oh my god.
Oh, they really stitched around to make the cleavage immaculate.
If
Thanks.
you ask me, it's still not very flattering. As she pushes her chest out.
Yes, they definitely made the head a little too large, for sure. In comparison to the body.
You've hit the one thing that she's self-conscious of. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god! Of course Lucian would. Oh.
Well,
Like in the doll, I mean.
You two are very brave to be walking the streets after such a horrid night. You have my admiration.
Oh, well, that is appreciated, Devanga.
Now please head home.
I go ahead and grip onto the shoulder of Theo and kind of usher them with me.
And as soon as you walk away, except it sounds way better than that.
Yeah, because we didn't.
I was sure that I heard it.
Yeah.
He was
You heard it,
singing down the
heard
street.
Yeah. She starts singing again, and there you go. You have $2 and 2 tickets to her opera show, which I don't have a name for yet. I do have a name for it. It's just not in my notes that I have for her. There you go.
All right.
You met one of the recalibrators.
Nice.
Theo. Start running around the academy up to your mother's office, and you can see that
Owen?
Owen. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I did say Theo. And your mother is Elvin?
Yes. No, they're human. They're both human.
Okay, I thought I have them. I just have their names written down on your sheet. I don't have their race. I should probably write that down. Female.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Also, I was just laughing because a part of me was like, before we got to Lucian and Theo, apparently everyone wants to see Theo's dad, even the podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, Theo's dad's a character now. That's fine.
Yep.
So.
Exciting.
And your mom's office is attached to to a giant lecture hall. So as soon as you start running through the halls, you can see the lights on in her lecture hall, and her scribbling away in her office. Obviously, there are guards posted outside the door, which don't seem to interact with you. I mean, they nod, but these look like her personal escorts. So these were probably guards you're familiar with. And you run in and you see her. She's got a lot of. What is she? I forget which vocation she was again. Was it divination?
I thought it was conjuration, but I'd have to look up.
I have it in front of me, but I don't have. I think we sent that on Discord. I asked what she was, but I'll put conjuration down. If you want to retcon it later, that's fine. I'll adjust the info. But she's got stacks and stacks of books, and you can see her. She's got a bunch of what look to be post-its on a stone wall off of her office, and you can see her drawing threads to certain things when you approach her office. She almost doesn't even notice you walk in.
I sort of clear my voice to get her attention.
She turns around. Oh my goodness! Owen! Oh, Owen, you're safe! Oh my! She runs over and drapes her arms around you and starts kissing your forehead profusely. Oh my boy, are you okay?
Oh, Mom, it's okay. Dad's safe too. I was just with him.
Who
earlier.
cares about your father, honey? What all we care about is that you're okay. Oh, Owen. Oh.
Well, okay.
I'm so sorry that I didn't come and find you, honey, but I just knew you'd be okay.
Yes, I was. I'd like to talk to you about what happened.
Oh, it's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Thank the Lords we were safe here. And you see that she tries to turn you away from her desk where she has a bunch of research going on.
So I tell her about falling unconscious and seeing the gods and what they told me.
And she's nodding as you're saying these things. Doesn't look too surprised, especially when you mention Shrek and Grim. You see her rubbing her cheek and picking her lips, and then she turns around, grabs a book, and starts reading it. And she goes, "Tell me, Owen, what do you know of the Grim, the Eye of Grim?"
It's what was used to see around the town, and find things and find criminals and things like that. Protect the jail.
Well, it didn't really find criminals as much as it did detect magic items and auras and things of that nature. The priests that reside there would have you believe that it was a gift given by Grimm himself, when actually the lens was created and blessed by their clergy.
Okay.
And she looks to see if you're surprised by this.
I'm not.
Yes, the lens was created years and years ago, using the very ore that we use for all our weaponry, fabrics, accommodations, and she points to the lights in the room, which are not, they're not canned lanterns, they look like LED lights. Vistonium ore has been the backbone to what makes the city thrive. And that is an item that was created with Vistonium ore. If you are to fix, it seems as though that they are trying to point you in the direction of the ore. Does that fit your vision?
Yes.
As far as Shrek goes, I fail to see how he would be the direct result of this. And she says, "Take a look at this, Owen." And she opens up her desk, and you can see she's got one of the pamphlets that have the black lettering on it that, if read, explode.
Okay.
She tells you to read it.
So I read it.
And nothing happens. And she says, "Notice anything different?"
No.
"How about the fact that it didn't explode, son?"
Well, I mean, it didn't explode in the streets. I mean, what's...
And she looks over. You can see she's got a bunch of runes and stuff on the wall, or like on the pamphlets, a bunch of signals. And she says, "I dispelled the effect on the pamphlet, on the parchment. And through my vigorous study, I saw that it was enchanted with explosive runes. But the spell has been tweaked. It's been specially crafted in a way that magic doesn't typically work. To what parameters this has been done, I cannot tell you, but I can tell you this. This was not made by natural arcanic energies."
What do you think it's made of? Was created with?
If I could give you that answer, I could find the source of this catastrophe. But magic has rules, and this magic does not.
Sounds like something divine is intervening in behalf of making this work then.
Yes, but this would be too intelligent for a god of death. Too sophisticated, too precise and surgical. For one such oafish brigand as the infallible Shrek. He's a terrible god.
Just keep taking shots, Frail. Taking shots.
So funny to listen to you just like rag on him.
I'm pretty sure he's the weakest of the compendium next to Kildred.
fairly certain that you killed you and everyone who looks like you.
I feel like that would be. I feel like that would be
Shrek
written.
descends from the heavens.
Yeah.
Shrek ascends
The fact
from
that you
the
thought
hells.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, the fact that you thought you would descend from the heavens and not just rip through the ground to be like, listen, fucker.
Just
Yeah,
ascend
I
from
wouldn't
the
even
hells.
say anything. I would simply ascend one hand up and crush him where he stands. Then give the finger to everyone around me and then slide back down into hell.
Drag him to hell style. No!
Weak, pathetic scum with a mouth that needs to be silenced.
And
Anyway,
she quickly realizes what she's talking about. She says, I'm so sorry, Owen. I should have a better mind for the toll that this act has taken on the city, but you know me. I'm very analytical, and I just have to figure this out.
I understand, and I respect you for that. But now I need to ask you a favor.
Of course, there's no favors, just requests, son. What can I help you with?
I need some assistance because I'm going to go to the mountain, to the mines, and try to restore Grimm's Eye.
You're going to barter with the O'Reeds?
I'm going to do what I need to do once I get there.
Oh,
Is there any magical assistance you could maybe help me with?
she looks around the room and she just puts her arms up. What magical assistance would you like?
I don't know, maybe an item of protection or whatever you feel like could help me the most.
And she walks over to a shelf, and you know that she holds a bunch of different amulets, rings, and accessories. And she starts pulling one and picks up a pair of earrings and puts them back. She goes into another compartment and she pulls out what looks to be just a pair of clogs and puts them back. And she goes, "No, something more subtle, something innocuous." And she pulls out a pennant and she puts it up to you, and it looks exactly like the necklace that your father had given you. And then I don't know if you have it on display. If you do, she didn't notice it, and if you did, she did notice it and say, "Oh, good, your father gave you the necklace." But it's just a pennant with a comment on it. She says, "I can enchant this with a protection spell. It'll take me a little bit of time, but I can at least protect you from." I can only put one on here. Chaos? Evil? Would you prefer? Or did you have something more specific in mind?
Nope, whatever you feel like could assist me the most.
She looks around the room and she says, "Give me some time. What would aid you most? Concealment, outright protection, physical means, magical means? I need something to go on, Owen."
Okay.
Oh dear.
Let's say magical protection.
From a certain school?
I don't know what school that I might encounter.
Okay. Give me some time. Obviously, I won't be coming home, but your physical well-being is more important. Give me some time, and I will see what I can come up with.
Thank you, Mother, and I give her a kiss on the cheek.
And she gives you several more. She hugs you so tight, and she says, "Remember, you'll always be my special little boy, Owen, no matter what gods try to pull you away from me."
No gods could pull me away from you.
Not even Shrek?
Especially not Shrek.
Yep. And she immediately starts sifting through ingredients and scrolls to try and help you out.
All right.
We go to Spooner, Lokar, and Chev. Spooner, what are you doing first?
Spooner completely believes what he was just told. Of course, you know what's best. Fathers are always right. Well, you seem to have everything under control. I will leave you to it then. And Spooner will walk out because he rolled like shit.
All right, give me initiatives for the three of you, please.
So Spooner walks out. He doesn't see them, does he?
Well, I assume you're going to walk around on their turn, so I guess you don't. No, you wouldn't see them, but you knew that they were going towards the mist, so no, you don't see them. But you do see that. Well, you don't have to roll initiative then yet. I'm sorry. Good point. You do see the priest gather a couple guards. The priestess gather a couple guards and rush past you, and you see the guards go into talk to the father, and they go into his office with him as the priestess stays outside.
So she's outside?
She's outside his office, yes. But he's
she's not outside.
No. Yeah, so she's outside of his office. He went in with both guards. All right. So let's look at this. So we have Lokar. So it's Lokar and then Chev. Okay. So the Bargeist, not noticing your guys' presence, takes a step towards Theo's dad and goes to bite. But Lokar, you are first.
Lokar will sprint and just slam his wooden sword into its back of its neck.
I'll go ahead and roll on
it.
How, Lokar?
Let's see. It's combat.
You probably don't have stats on the wooden sword, so just roll a strength check. Yeah. 18 will hit. And we'll just do 1d4 for your damage. So describe how you're hitting this beast.
So Lokar's just gonna go sprinting in, and when he gets in range, he's gonna literally do like a leap in the air, just over the top of his head, just come swinging down as hard as he can.
Okay.
To crack this thing in the back of the neck.
And you see its head go down, and it goes, and it turns and looks at you and opens up its fangs and goes to hit with a bite. And
my God,
Chev, you see this thing immediately go for Lokar's legs, and Lokar, you get bit for 3 damage.
Jesus.
Give me a what's your CMD? Probably 10 plus what?
It's 12.
12, and the beast has your leg, which will bring up Chev.
As I see this unfold with Lokar, I whisper a silent prayer to any god that would aid us and give us the revenge we deserve. And with that, I move out behind the Barghast, grab it by its tail, and insert a sword where places don't need to be mentioned.
Okay.
What? To the hilt, baby.
Roll.
That dice went nowhere.
So your dice, you go to stick this into, I guess, the backside of the Bargeist, and you can see it whip Lokar around and like jump out of the way of your attack. Lokar, go ahead, and what are you doing? As Theo's dad scurries, gets his head back towards the fence, so he was pinned. Go ahead, Lokar.
I'm gonna.
I'm sorry. Spooner. My fault. What are you doing, Spooner?
So Spooner walked around the corner. Does he hear what's going on with the?
You can hear grunts and yells of Lokar attacking, or Lokar and Shev struggling, while Theo's dad is screaming for help.
Spooner's gonna duck his head back inside and yell for the guards.
Okay. And then what? Are you running in or what?
Spooner's gonna run back out to help.
Okay. All right. I need a percentile, please, as you run into the mist, just to make sure you don't get lost. And a 27, you will not find them this turn, which will bring up Lokar.
All right. I'm just going to slam the pointy end of my wooden sword right into its eye.
Mm-hmm. And that hits.
All right.
And it shrieks in pain, and it releases its grip on you. And then it goes to rises up on its two legs and goes to claw you for less than what it gets because it's got a stab wound in the eye.
Ooh.
And it comes down, it claws, it swipes and completely misses you. But hits Shev.
I rolled a natural 1 and it still gets damage. Boom, shocking.
And hits Shev for 7.
Well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Which will bring up Shev. And it falls down, I'm sorry. So it swipes wide and falls down, so it's now prone. Yep, Shev.
Okay. Being that it's prone, I place my sword right at about its the base of its neck and strike the pommel with every ounce of strength I have.
Go for it. And your sword, roll a d20. If you get above below a 10, it breaks. And your sword breaks as soon as it smacks into the hide of the Bargeist. Smacks right against it and breaks, which will bring up Spooner.
Percentile?
Nope, you'll be able to find him this turn. So you'll run through. Your movement will be to run in, so you will see them. You won't be able to make it to the Bargeist, but you can act. I'm sorry, I don't know if my mic cut out. You won't be able to make it to the Bargeist to attack, but you can do an action. And
Spooner's gonna get real big and just start screaming at the top of his lungs like complete battle cry to try to maybe intimidate this creature.
Give it a roll.
Oh yeah, my -1. I'm a big scary man.
I'm teddy bear, hear me roar.
Pretty much.
The Bargeist looks right at you. Its jaws salivating. It seems to have forgotten its luscious, easy meats, which will bring up Lokar. Lokar, you hear this roar. You see that Shev's sword broke against the Bargeist's back, and it looks like it's ready to stand up and pounce on Spooner.
The Bargeist's mouth is open?
Yes.
Shoving my sword down its fucking throat.
Roll it.
Dude, kick it in the balls.
And with it being prone, that will hit. You You shove the sword down his throat, and you hear it start to cough. And on its turn, it snaps, closes its jaw, pulls the sword away from you, and snaps it. And it is going to take 7 damage as it's choking the wood down its throat. And that will be its turn, which will bring up Spooner.
Spooner doesn't have any weapons on him, so I guess he's just gonna go up and try to sucker punch him, I guess.
It's a way to do it.
So.
And a 14 will hit. And you smack it, punch it so hard it yelps as you see its throat splintered and chunks of wood in there.
He's gonna give it a titty twister.
Which will bring up bring up Lokar. Swordless.
Okay. Am I able to grab the broken handle?
Yeah, you have that. Yeah. Yes, you'll have the broken handle. We'll just say that you have the handle in its hand. It broke the sword off of the handle, so you have a broken hilt.
Right. Running it into his freaking eye again.
And 11 will not hit. You try to do it, but maybe with the mist and with it being on the ground, you swipe too wide, which will bring up the Bargeist, who will stand. So Shev and Lokar and Spooner, you all get attacks on it.
Ugh.
And Spooner, you were able to punch this thing.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Spooner, as you punch it, its face turns and looks back at you, and it goes... And it goes to bite and claw and hit, so that's... I still have it prone, but that's fine. We're going to stick with it. So the bite hits... And the claw hits. And you guys just see this Bargeist slash Spooner to pieces, but not dead pieces.
Spooner's dead.
No. Spooner,
Jesus.
This thing pounces on top of Spooner and starts biting and clawing at him. And that familiar scene of your family, of what you would imagine was like when your family getting torn apart by the Bargeist. I mean, this is what you guys would picture or imagining what it looked like, is just reliving your nightmare of this Bargeist slashing into Spooner, and it is your guys' turn. Broken hilts in hand for both of you.
No.
We'll start with Chev, since would have been his turn next.
Yeah. This is a graveyard, right? There's gravestones all around.
Mm-hmm.
I will pick up a gravestone and smash it on the head.
So you're looking around, and something about the broken sword in your hand seems to pulsate.
Just 1 second. Sis. Okay.
And,
I give that my attention.
And when you're moving around, the dust on the ground starts to pick up, and you see this is Medlin dust. If you guys don't remember, this is the dust that they put on the ground and make it look like leaves. Mm-hmm. You guys see it starts to sparkle around your sword. What are you doing, Chef?
Do I think that there would be a connection between this dust and the feeling in the sword?
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Nate.
Sorry, no, I thought I was muted because I was like, yes, it would be.
You feel an emotional connection between yourself and the forces around you, the arcanic forces around you?
I try to like reach out to it, grab a hold of it.
Your sword?
No, the forces around me.
Okay. Are you reaching with the sword that's in your hand, or
With both hands to try to pull it to me.
don't you have your sword in your hand?
I do, but I have
Okay.
another hand.
So you
and
see
I don't want to use it.
So Chev,
So-
you're watching Lokar, or Lokar, you're watching Chev put his hand out, and you see all these various colors glistening in the mist, and start to pull themselves into Chev's broken wooden handle, and you see a prismatic blade start to emanate from the hilt. What are you doing?
Me?
Chev, yes.
Oh, look. Okay, so Chef, what are you doing?
Sorry.
Well, I would say something like, Lokar, reach out. You can feel it too. And then I aim this blade straight up at the sky and bring it down with everything I got.
All right, and as soon as you go to swing, you can feel what seem to be like scorching rays pierce through this. As your blade slams down, you feel scorching rays explode from the hilt of from the prismatic blade. So go ahead and roll. Was it 3d6, 2d6?
Scorching Ray is 46, bro.
46. Go ahead and roll 46. So you deal 13 damage to it as these rays start shooting through its body, and Lokar, you're probably dodging as these blasts of rays shoot through its hide, almost shredding parts of this Bargeist, and then it is your turn. And you can feel the sensation in your hilt and these arcanic energies in the air.
Okay. Lokar kind of notices what's happening around him, but he is just fixated on Spooner and this Bellgeist, in the most devastated rage he can muster. Just screams, "I won't let you take another," as he just tries to plunge this thing straight down into its back.
Give me a roll, d20. No, well, it was 8. So you are going to get a level 4 spell. Cleric 4. So you slam your sword into this beast, and you feel a warm white glow. You see your sword emanates a sense of warmth. You see that prismatic sword shape come out of it, and inside the stab wound that you have in the Bargeist, a white light pierces through it and shoots out of its mouth. And go ahead and roll 4d8 for me, as you can feel a restorative energy shoot out its mouth towards Spooner. And you heal Spooner for 25 health. And with that energy shooting out through the Bargeist, it then begins to encompass its body, and the Bargeist puffs. Explodes, not like a big explosion, but a controlled explosion, small explosion, into what looks to be summoned dust. And your swords go away, and you guys, for the briefest of moments, feel a power unlike any other you have ever felt in your life, but something about it felt right.
Lokar just drops the hilt of his sword and runs to Spooner.
That tickled. How did you guys do that?
I'm not sure, but are you okay?
You know, I feel better than I have in days. Thank you.
Lokar just hugs him.
Meanwhile, Chev is standing there just staring at the broken hilt of his sword.
A romping erection.
Trying trying to like remember how the power felt. Trying to summon it back.
This is why you make friends. You know, you just never know about people, huh?
The mist
I'm just,
Oops, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just glad you're okay.
I'm glad you guys are okay.
I wasn't worried about. Oh crap! All right, you over there. Are you okay?
Theo's dad, the mist starts to clear, and Theo's dad just looks at both of you and says, "What? What did you? Thank you so much. I was looking for my son, and then the mist appeared, and this creature attacked me. My leg! Oh my God, my leg!"
I'll run over there and like rip a piece of my shirt and wrap it, like trying to like tourniquet the best I can right above the wound.
And please, can you take me inside, please?
We got you. We got you. Spooner, you mind? We're not.
Yes.
We're not. And Lokar just kind of falls over. He's exhausted.
We are very good friends. He says nice things about me. Come inside.
You guys see, when you walk in, you see two guards have three what look to be darkly clad people, possibly brigands or thieves. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Possibly thieves, handcuffed and sitting against the wall by Master Tylus's door. And when you bring Theo in, he immediately rushes or get attendants to come over and to look at Lokar and Shev and ask what happened. And I assume you guys tell him what happened.
I didn't follow them in.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, I'm standing in that graveyard doing everything I can to call back the power I just used.
Well, that's fine. Spooner, you're going in. I'm basically railroading you guys now. They're going to ask everybody to come in, and they're going to close the doors for the night until the morning, and then you guys will be released.
Well, if they're asking people to come in, I'll go inside. I'm not going to be obtuse.
Toot toot! And now we go to Lucian and Theo. You guys make it to the Thumb. You get to Lucian's house.
All right.
Well, I can only hope our situation wasn't as treacherous as others.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Lucian, your family is not here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm gonna I opened the door and went in, or you mean I?
Yeah,
see
like
they're not here?
there's no lights on. If you go in the house, you'll see nobody's there. But they left you a note that they were going into town to enjoy the festivities, and tell you not to wait up if you got home before them.
Okay, I'm gonna hold that note a little bit too long, and I'm gonna just fold it nicely, so that when I set it down, they know that I've read it. And I return back to Theo and go, well, they seem to still be out, but they'll be back soon. Is there anything I can get you, just so that you can relax?
Having that walk cleared my head a lot, so I don't know. I feel better.
Okay. Well, you can have my room for tonight. And make yourself at home. I'm gonna tidy up the things until my parents get home.
I'll help.
No. It's fine. You go ahead and maybe pull up one of the good books. I have some good books in there. Not the cheesed ones, but I do have books.
Sorry. That was out of character.
Sorry, no worries.
Not the cheesed ones.
Yeah, not the cheese. They just listen. When you have like a couple animals nearby and they smell that, they just sometimes eat it for no reason. And I already have trouble with goats eating normal books. It's fine, Theo. It's fine.
Theo's just gonna start helping tidy up because he's not about to let his friends not sleep all night.
It's not as much as not sleep all night. I need a moment, Theo. I hold my folded note there just a little bit, like I was trying to be a little
I'm not very good at picking up on things. Okay.
it's all right. Theo, you went through a lot. I know you went through a lot.
I'll just go and sit in his room and then read a book then.
Yeah, I have many. Just take a second. And Lucy makes sure Theo kind of walks out, and he goes ahead and does what he said. He's going to start tidying up the place, and as he's tidying up, he's just in his mind the whole time thinking about how recent that note was written. If it was during the festivities, that was this morning, and it's now 2 in the morning, or almost maybe 3. And he's just trying his best not to think of the worst, and just making everything look probably much better than it needs to be.
I mean, they could be dead.
Yeah, that's what he was trying not to think about.
I know. I think that's what the thought keeps. It's like they could be dead, but at the same time, maybe not. Maybe not.
In my head, of course.
I know he's not trying to think that right now, and I think that's what he's going through. So I'll go ahead and I'm just gonna try to hold grips, and then I'm gonna clean up a little bit. I'm gonna sit at the table, and I think he's gonna take this moment just to sit there and not think about it.
Okay. Somewhere you guys are hearing a loud Italian offering free books. Everybody needs a nice, warm, hot book on a night like this.
Can we invite Tony?
No. Tony was walking through the streets with a bunch of pizza boxes, handing out books that he just made to people. That happened last session. I just threw that note in there. So yeah, Tony's walking around.
That actually
happened. Yeah. Tony's walking around offering hot books to people.
I love that so much. Yeah. Oh my god.
He gave one to Sir Thalion.
Oh my god, that's spectacular.
Yeah. Practically had to beg him to take it.
Fantastic. Well, of course.
All right, and closing tonight will be Owen. Are you doing anything else tonight?
I guess I'm just gonna rest.
Okay. When you go to rest, you will get another kind of vision of the gods, and you will see that Grimm is the same thing you saw before, like all the dark figures around in a circle, and Grimm, pushes himself forward through the rest and gives himself color, and he just nods at you and smiles. And you can feel that the necklace that you have gives you the ability to cast Commune once a day, but with a limited effect.
Okay.
So you got a free Commune spell. That was the thing I forgot to convey with you. So the necklace lets you commune. Okay. So from here, you guys will be pretty much confined to your quarters for 3 days, and then after which there will be a memorial for what happened today. What I will need from you guys is to, if you haven't picked your class already, get ready to decide on that, because next session will be leveling up. You will attend this meeting for the town, and then I'm going to bring all of you together in a room. We're fast tracking it that Scarlet gets everybody together to discuss the events of what happened. So it's not you're gonna get the announcement for the town. We're gonna say that Scarlet got everybody together to try and see what happened. So everybody's gonna meet. You're gonna talk about what happened, and then you're going to pick your vocations. And you'll understand more about that when we get to do it. So the only other thing I need from you guys is you all have the ability to speak to someone that has been that is dead. You get to ask them 3 questions. If you don't know who you're asking, you can ask me questions like if I wanted to talk to somebody who could tell me XYZ. You have access to the entire city. You can ask you can talk to one of the founding members of the city. You can talk to Joe Schmo who died. If there's something that somebody that you want to talk to, they'll give you a certain type of information, let me know so I can give that to you. So that next session is everybody discussing the events that each group went through.
Right.
And picking your classes, yes.
Just to clarify, this is anybody that's dead from anywhere in the world, not just dead people who died.
Just the city. Just who's dead and buried in the city.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we wouldn't be able to talk to our parents.
No.
Right. That's exactly what I was getting at.
Yep. Cool. Good. Anybody have any questions?
No.
All right. Okay. Thank you for playing.
Thank you for the game.
Tried to drag the Magus thing out of both of you. It took a little bit, but we got there.
Well.
I apologize for the cemetery, going to the cemetery, because I was like, we're not even level 1 yet. I don't want to die.
I wanted you to go to the cemetery. It was going to work either way. If you guys would have went down to the crypt, you would have experienced something else. But that's fine. You didn't, so you don't know what happened. So you were going to get it either way, that scene, but you got two different types of information. So you guys will not know what happened inside the church, which is fine.
I'm really glad that my dad didn't die.
So had Theo and Lucian rolled better, you would have heard the commotion in the church, but you guys didn't roll high enough. So you guys met the recalibrators instead. Yeah, you guys were far enough away that I needed a 15 or higher, I needed you guys to get higher than a 15, and I think you just hit 15 Kai.
I just hit 15.
Yeah, so you guys were too far away to hear the commotion or see what was going on.
That's okay. I love living in that, not knowing what I did.
Yep. So cool. All right, see you guys next week.
All right, take it easy.
All right,
I got a 12.